to another house and call on Jason McCartney to speak. Jason has also been to Kurdistan and took part in the no-fly zone in the 90s, which saved the Kurds 20 years ago, as much as we now need to help save the Kurds today. So Jason, your experience is valued and you have 3 minutes starting now.
Thank you very much indeed, Gary and Bayan, and thank you to the Centre for Turkey Studies and the Centre as well for Kurdish Progress. I have never seen this committee room as full as it is now, which shows there is so much passion, care and concern for this issue. So thank you for all turning up here this evening. As Gary said, my first experiences with Kurdistan and Northern Iraq came in 1995 when I was in the Royal Air Force. And I was sent on detachment to Operation Warden, which was the no-fly zone over northern Iraq. If you remember, after the end of the First Gulf War, Saddam Hussein continued his persecution of the Kurds. There was the genocide, and very much similar to, as we're seeing now, men, women and children fled to the mountains. And in response to that, the United Kingdom, under the leadership of Sir John Major and other senior politicians, responded very quickly indeed with a no-fly zone, along with Turkey, France and the United States. And we also supplied aid to those that needed it. That was an incredibly effective no-fly zone. We were operating from Incirlik Air Base in Turkey, near Adana. And as well as securing the air, to let the Kurdish people know on the ground that any aircraft were friendly ones, we were also operating on the ground, and I operated out of a little town called Zako, where we had a military coordination centre, and we visited all the villages locally to let them know that the air forces above were friendly, and we also made sure that they had the food and medicines, but also particularly remember we delivered electricity generators so that they had power in their villages. I then returned to Erbil last year with Gary and the all-party parliamentary group, and I saw a part of northern Iraq that has flourished. We were talking about commerce, we were talking about tourism, we were talking about education, and in my local university, Huddersfield University, I met dozens of students who are studying at my local university and are going back to Kurdistan to work as doctors, teachers, lawyers and engineers, which just brings home the relevance of why we should be concerned about Kurdistan. So in 20 years, the Kurdistan Regional Government have developed this peaceful and prosperous part of northern Iraq. And this is the big challenge that we have got, because as Liam said, public opinion is led in this country by what we see on the news. And when I talk about northern Iraq, they think about the chaos and the sectarian divides and the car bombs in Baghdad. They don't realise there is this wonderfully peaceful, up until recently, and prosperous part under the Kurdistan Regional Government, which we need to support as much as we can. It is very, very important. And in Parliament last Monday, when we came back from the summer recess, the Prime Minister, David Cameron, gave a statement on all the security situations around the world, and there's a lot of them at the moment, of course, with Ukraine, Russia, Syria, Gaza as well. I asked him that we should commit to airstrikes and air support now in northern Iraq, just as we did 20 years ago, and I can't stress that enough. So thank you very much indeed for all of your support. I'm actually going off now downstairs for a dinner with some Royal Air Force veterans who served in the Battle of Britain in 1940. They're very, very old. And I've just